Now, our reporter Daniel Karaoke has pitched camp in Kiambaa constituency, Kiambaa County, where the by-elections are still underway. Daniel, please paint for us a picture of what is happening now.
That's right, Lincoln. I find you loud and clear here in Kiambaa constituency at Karori High School, where the process of vote tallying is ongoing. Remember, the polls were opened at immediately 5 a.m. in the morning and were closed at immediately 5 p.m. in the evening. As I said, they opened at 6 a.m. in the morning. And according to the presiding officer, all polling stations were able to open at appropriate timing. And unless for those which were able to delay and open a bit late, had to close a bit late to compensate for the time lost. However, we are here in Karori High School, where the process of tallying is ongoing. It is a bit noisy. We could have taken you inside there, but that is what is happening here right now. Lincoln.
Our election was mad with chaos. How is the situation now?
You know, Lincoln, I wouldn't say the by-election was mad with chaos. Remember, this is one by-election that was highly anticipated. It could be a small election, just a by-election, but it has quite significance, especially 13 months to the 2022 general elections. According to the IEBC and the IEBC chairman, Wafula Chebukati, who came here a bit late in the day, he said that the process was smooth. However, as reporters, we were only able to see one incident in Sianda, where Amos Kimunya was confronted by a group of angry youth who claimed of questions of who really was the Jubilee agent at that particular polling station. So apart from that, this process has been smooth, not only here in Kiambaa constituency, but we are also able to cover in Muguga ward, where there was a by-election for an MCA seat that fell vacant in March, a by-election that was also putting the UDA and Jubilee candidates on a head-to-head race again. And this is an election, like I said, is highly anticipated because it's putting the president and his deputy yet again at loggerheads. We saw this in Juja, Rorier, Bonchari previous elections, and again we are here in these elections in Kiambaa, and we are really expecting to see what really turns out. According to what we've been speaking with people, you can't really tell what the numbers are. It is quite a balance, but I mean, we'll be here all night to see what happens. Lincoln.
Daniel, at around 3 p.m., the voter turnout stood at around 20%. Did this increase towards the closure of the polling stations?
I wouldn't say that, Lincoln. That was what was hoped by the IEBC. In Muguga ward, however, the voter turnout was a bit better. However, they hoped that by closure time that closed, elections that closed about 2 hours ago, the voter turnout didn't really change. And we are here in Rori ward, where they are going to give us the official statistics and data. As we were there reporting to you in field until 3 p.m., the voter turnout was quite low, Lincoln, like you said. And we don't know what attributed to this lower voter turnout. However, in Kiambaa constituency, to be specific, Lincoln, we're able to see at certain polling stations, like in some polling stations that we're able to visit, there was quite huge numbers of people who came, and at different polling stations, like I was with Namukana Samuel reporting at a different polling station, the number and the voter turnout was quite low, Lincoln. So we don't know, we came here to this polling station, to be specific, and the voter turnout hadn't changed at that last hour since that reading was made, that the voter turnout was at 20%. However, that 20% was in Kiambaa, but in Muguga ward, where there was that by-election for that MCA seat, at around 3 p.m., the voter turnout was at, let's say, 35%. Hoping to get official data from this tally that is currently underway here in this particular polling station where the tally is ongoing. Lincoln.
Daniel, you spoke earlier of, you have someone, a professional right there from the ILUG. What do you have to say about that?
Dasha, Lincoln, I have one of the observers from ILOG who is also going to help us paint a better picture. They had been deployed at the 154 polling stations here in this race in Kiambaa constituency, and I'm with one, a chairman. He's going to give us a paint to us a brief picture about how the process has been. Welcome to Switch TV. Kindly introduce yourself and paint to us a picture of how it has been.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dan. I'm Joshua Changwany from the Elections Observation Group. I would start from the positive side that we've been here from yesterday, and we are very impressed by the voters of Kiambaa compared with the recent by-elections in Bonjari and Juja constituencies. Number one, the people of Kiambaa have turned out in huge numbers since morning, and they have registered a huge turnout of voters, unlike the other previous by-elections that we've seen in our country.
Okay, allow me to cut you short. That was the vote turnout. But did you notice anything suspicious at any of the polling stations?
Yeah, there's some peculiarity and some very funny behaviors, especially by appearances of chiefs and assistant chiefs in polling stations. We've never seen that in other by-elections. And this is a warning to us as observers, because this might also manifest in the general elections in 2022. And the IEBC has stated very clearly that that was not allowed by the electoral laws that we have in our country.
Okay, apart from that, there's also this question about COVID-19. We're having these elections at quite a questioning time. I mean, what have you ever been able to observe? Did the IBC conduct it in a proper way?
Yeah, we saw and we witnessed that IBC was very prepared in terms of having even a clerk dedicated to see that measures on COVID-19 prevention was put in place. And they had a dedicated clerk who was called the COVID clerk. Would ensure that voters would sanitize, they would wash their hands, and there would also be some social distances in the queues, and ensure that voters were even educated at the polling station to keep the social distance and even have masks. And for us, we recommend the IEBC for that preparedness.
Thank you so much. I mean, 13 months to the general elections. Lincoln, allow me to ask this question. It is 13 months to the general elections. Is IEBC prepared to carry out this bulk election?
From their performance in these by-elections, if this is exactly what they are going to do in the next general elections, our country will do a better election than 2017 and in 2013. And I can confirm that.
Thank you so much. Okay. Thanks so much, Lincoln. That was one of the observers from Ilog giving to us, or rather painting to us, a brief picture of how their process has been. Like I said, I was not alone. We have been covering this process since March, since IBC declared that these elections were to happen. Remember, campaigns closed just this Monday that had passed, and things stand. Like I wanted to say, in Kiambaa, it was almost turning red and yellow. It was Jubilee, UDA, especially here in Kiambaa constituency and Kabete constituency, where there is that by-election of the MCA seat in Muguga. However, I was with Namukana Samuel Lincoln, and he was able to prepare this short package. I believe it's ready. We can have a look.
Voting kicked off here in Kiambaa constituency and Muguga ward by election as early as 6 a.m. Security was heavier than usual as police were deployed ahead of the voting day to secure the election and avert any cases of violence. However, as expected earlier on, chaos erupted as National Assembly Majority Leader Amos Kimunya was whisked away by UDA party supporters.
To the fact that they have been buying votes all night, and they are not supposed to be here. We have communicated to the RO. Kimunya, in fact, in the better terms, Kimunya is a stranger in this police station. He should leave.
Kimunya's sole mission in this polling station is voters' bribery. You want to swear vote to the Jubilee's paper? No, you can't allow it. Kimunya must go.
Kariri Njama of Jubilee Party casted his vote at Gashie Primary School, sharing his hope of an easy win.
But so far, so good. We thank God. We have prayed. We did everything. And even for now, we're in prayer and trusting God that this victory belongs to Kariri Njama. This victory belongs to the Jubilee Party.
UDA candidate John Juguna casted his at Tindibwa polling station at 11:20 a.m., alleging that there are plans of vote rigging by their Jubilee opponents.
He has not been given the badge as the badge by the IBC. If he's an agent, he's supposed to be inside the polling center. So what is he doing outside the polling center? And he's saying that he's an agent for the IBC. So it doesn't make sense. So if he's an agent, he's supposed to be inside. If he's not, the only people who are allowed to roam around, it's only the chief agent and the candidates. No one else. And that's why I'm alone. All the other members of parliament, because we have members of parliament who support us, they are not here.
Voter turnout, according to the IEBC chairman of Rachi Bukati, has however been low. Samuel Namkana, Switch TV, Kiambaa constituency.